What is up, YouTube? Your boy Mike Fulahope here, man. It's been a minute since I've done a video. It feels like forever. No, I did one like maybe a week ago, but I got some things to say. Just get the mind stimulating, get the conversation going. In this life is crazy. Y'all know it. I don't gotta tell y'all. And as we all go on and progress through life, we grow mentally, we go physically, we go spiritually, and things appear to us differently than when we were kids. You can look at a cartoon that you looked at as a kid, as an adult, and you look at it a completely different way, and and that's just one example. But my main point, I say all that to say, is education literally is key. We should do research on some of the things that we grew up learning. I mean, if you don't know, if all you do is digest the information without looking the information up yourself, how you gonna know where the information is coming from or whether the information is accurate at all? For example, yeah, what was I wanted to say more on that, but it really is key. I know for me, I come from a very educated family. Both parents went to universities, got their degrees. One's working on a master's, others working on the second master's. I went to school. I was top of my class, was in AP and IB classes, advanced classes, and I got good grades, but I felt like until college, till the end of college for even, that I had been blind my whole life, and not so much blind, but like I didn't know as much as I know about things now. I'm more mature in my intellect, I would say, and a lot of the reason is because the stuff they teach, it's not so much the stuff they teach, I would say it's the way of thinking about the stuff they teach and the way of thinking about how things work in general. I know for me, one of the sparking points would be like going to college. I went to enrolled in an African American history class, and I learned so much about these black leaders that they barely talk about. Some they didn't talk about in high school, and it's amazing to see like some of the things, the strife, the tribulation that some of these people had to go through in order for us to do what we're doing. You know what I mean? They talk about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Rosa Parks in high school, and they somewhat talk about W.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington, but like there's so many more that help us to achieve some of the things that we have as human rights now. Like nobody ever talks about how there was a girl on the bus before Rosa Parks that refused to give up her seat to a racist white person, or they never talk about Ed Nixon, the person behind the civil rights movement, or stuff like that. And that's not just for African Americans. That's for everybody. You know what I mean? You should be at liberty to learn something about your history and your lineage, your culture. If I was Hispanic, you should want to know, I should want to know about Roberto Clemente, the Jackie Robinson of Hispanics, or Gloria Estefan. We learned a little bit about her when we were little, but not too much about her. We learned her songs in like elementary school, but nobody talks about that anymore. I don't even remember her song. That's just one. Che Guevara, a Cuban revolutionary, did so much for the Cubans people and preached literacy. You should want to know about how Cesar Chavez had his farmers movement, protest movement, stuff like that to help people out and allow things to be the way they are. If you came from a European lineage, you should want to know about Napoleon Bonaparte, his successful war campaigns, or Johannes Gutenberg, his his how he invented the type press and stuff that changed history. You know what I mean? And I say all that to say, like, if you don't know history, if you don't know the past, you won't have a future. You know what I mean? Or you will have a future, but you'll live it blindly. And living blindly, like I said, is living blindly is not living at all. To be honest, you know, you'll be bamboozled for the rest of your life. Um, it's just simple things like uh, the phrase "you're fired." That's one perfect example. That came. We say that so often. That's like one of those famous, I guess, phrases for bosses to say when they're getting rid of somebody at the job. Well, that term originally came from Native Americans. It was a term that they used for when Native Americans rival their rival clans. They wanted to get rid of their rival clans, so they would put their house on fire and make those people move. They didn't want to kill them, but they wanted them to be gone, so they put their house on fire, and hence the term "you're fired" or redneck. You know, we don't know where that came from, but there's a there that came from somewhere. That used to be a term for white sharecroppers, and the term redneck actually came from the fact that they used to be out in the labor fields, and due to the sunburn of the hard labor, they would get red necks, like stuff like that. You don't know about. People don't know about how, you know, you think of China, you hear about Buddhism, and you know, they claim Buddha to the highest degree, but people don't know that Buddha came from India. You know, small things like that people don't know about, but it's what happened. It's the truth, and it's something that people don't know, that it really it helps us understand why things are how they are. You know, so I mean, I say all that to say, like, go out there and try to understand your history, understand everybody, enjoy everybody else's history too. You know what I mean? You should have pride in your own history, but you should also have, you know, some sort of admiration for those who have been through certain things. You know what I mean? We're all in this world together, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. You know, it's not Republican versus Democrat. It shouldn't be race versus race, or culture versus culture, or country versus country for that matter. It should be us all human beings on the same page. And if aliens want to come down, well, it should be us humans versus aliens. I mean, that's just how it is. We should be together on stuff. But that was one point. Oh yeah, I didn't say anything about the Irish. I was interested. I have a lot of Irish friends. Actually, I might even have Irish blood in me. I don't know for sure. I think it's Scottish or Irish, either one. But you know, if you're Irish, you should want to know about the potato famine, and that's could be the reason why you ended up your family ended up in America and stuff like that. Like stuff like that they probably don't really touch on that much in high school. And if you were anything like me in high school, if they did touch on it, you were probably not listening due to either distractions in class or the instruction. But those are important things to know. And I say all that to say that, like, the education behind things it could be the reason why you are a certain way. So you learn more about yourself when you gain more knowledge. That's for sure. And speaking about yourself, I would want to say, in life, you know, I used to be one of those kids that truly cared about what everybody thought about me, and I wanted everybody to love me and think of me, have so much admiration for me, or you know what I mean. I wanted I wanted a big constituency, you know, of people, you know, that really generally loved me for everything I did. That was always me. But you live on, you get more mature, and the reality of the situation is that no matter what you do in life, there's always going to be some type of opposition. You can do something perfect and somebody still have something to say about it, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just that's how it is. You know, what's a victory without a great opposition? It's not really a victory. It's a easy test, you know. And people are gonna have stuff to say about you, but it's important and critical to live for the ones that love you and understand the ones that hate you. Don't hate the ones that hate you, but understand them, because you can't fight hate with hate. You know, it never works out like that. And well, I was gonna say what thoughts is all jumbled up and blah blah. Oh yeah, perfect example of that. Jesus Christ. Now, some of you may not believe he's the Son of God, and a lot of us, I hope a lot of us do. But we can use his situation, his life as an example. You talk about a person who grew up in a city full of Jews. He was a Jewish man himself. He grew up in a city with his people, you know, and he loved those people. They loved him back growing up. And then he gets to a certain point in his life and he starts preaching to others to love one another, and he's trying to nail down on all the violence and hatred, and they crucify him. His own people. That's like me growing up in a school and everybody loves me, and then the moment I get to college or graduate from college and I'm telling everybody about what I learned, then everybody kills me or stones me or something like that. Like, it doesn't add up, you know. But I say all that to say is, if that man himself got killed, crucified, nailed on the cross, basically obliterated his human flesh, if all that because he was preaching peace and you know, why would you think that anything you would do wouldn't cause some type of opposition or some type of hatred? You know what I mean? No, none of us are perfect, and none of us, we dang sure ain't Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? So, like, just understand people are gonna hate regardless. You should love haters. You know, their energy and motivation to keep doing what you do. And when I say understand them, you have to understand. I mean by this, like, people believe certain ways, there's certain things that they believe because they were raised into that, and it may not be what you agree with, but that's how it is. They were raised like that. They're not gonna turn away from it just because you say you don't like that or you don't agree with it, because you yourself grew up a certain way and you're not gonna do the same thing. So, I mean, the best thing you can do is try to understand them and peacefully come with a resolution to find some, similarities or something y'all can agree on. So that's all I had to say. I'm done preaching. Your boy Mike Fulahope. If y'all have any comments, questions, suggestions, just hit me up, man. I'd love to. Well, I don't really know all of you or who's gonna see this, but hope I bless somebody and help y'all with y'all situation. But yeah, suggest comments or whatever. Maybe I can make another discussion video. Just get the conversation going or whatever. And yeah, that was it. Peace. Checks. Oh, it's not even Chex Mix. It's trail mix. But yeah, this is some good stuff. Oh, and stop drinking Coca-Cola, because Coca-Cola's original color is green. So after they put all the fructose syrup and food coloring in it, then it becomes brown, and then you drink that. So I don't know if you want to drink that anymore. Peace.